So, welcome to another episode of UI Talks. This episode will be based on Share Your Story, a segment under UI Talks where we'll be listening to stories shared by particular people on different topics of interest.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me.
So here with me is Awobajo Oluwatunmise, popularly known as Mishe. She's a law student at the University of Ibadan, a mobigrapher and a product photographer. Having taught mobigraphy to over 5,000 people across Africa and beyond, she founded Mobigraphy Africa, a growing community of young mobigraphers who seek to expand their knowledge in mobigraphy. She's also a co-founder of Students on LinkedIn, an online platform which seeks to educate and enlighten students who use LinkedIn and those who wish to use LinkedIn in the near future. She loves to inspire and motivate young adults with stories of her personal life. To this cause, she owns a blog called My Life in a Diary. As an ardent lover of Christ, she also calls herself God's baby. So, Mishe, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how far you've come?
Okay, thank you so much, Prime. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess I'll just continue from where you stopped. So, before I even start, I would like to say this. Doing mobigraphy was not something I ever imagined. It wasn't something I ever imagined. I'm this type of person. I daydream a lot. I imagine things a lot, but I never thought that I would eventually go into the mobigraphy photography space. Well, it all happened as a result of circumstances, right? I gained admission to study law in the University of Ibadan in 2019, but I didn't resume until 2021 because of the events that happened within that time. There was a coronavirus, there was the ASU strike, and UI itself generally had a slow calendar. So it was during this period that my mobigraphy journey started, and that was in January 2020. It wasn't something I was really intentional about. I basically just picked my mom's phone and I shot rather what I was fascinated by, like the things around me, flowers, trees, the sunset and all that. So that was how it all started. Then later on I began to explore other things. Then by the end of the year 2020, around December, I decided to package my knowledge on mobigraphy. I decided to package what I've taught myself and sell this out to people who I did not know would be in need of it. I mean, everybody take pictures with their phone, but not everybody knows they can actually do more with the pictures that they take with their phone. So I held my first mobigraphy class in December 2020.
I make no apologies. This is me.
The first turnout was really massive. I didn't expect that, no, I didn't expect that large amount of people to come in for my Mobigraphy class. I was basically just going to teach them how to take pictures with their phones and how to edit and all that, and it was really nice. And it's made me realize that nothing is really too small to make it big. But I won't go deep into that now. I'll probably share that later. Right. So later on, after I held the Mobigraphy classes, I realized that okay, just teaching people would be enough. Why don't I start up a community? So I started an online community. I started with a Telegram group where I know that okay, Mobigraphers can come together and learn from one another. So that was where Mobigraphy Africa came from. And right now I will say we are doing well, and I know that by the grace of God we'll be able to do more in the nearest future.
Well, that's a very beautiful background story, and it really goes to show how unpredictable the journey to success can be. Because, like you said, it was based on circumstance. It's not something you planned. But judging from your own story, it just seems that the main things that brought you thus far are your commitment and the passion for what you do. And then this brings me to the next question. What exactly is your motivation behind what you do, or what's your source of inspiration towards what you do or towards your journey, and why?
Okay, thank you so much, Prime. I'll say one of my biggest source of motivation has to be from the people I have taught. When these people come with when they come with their testimonies, when they come with their results of how what I taught them, what it has brought for them, it really, really makes me happy. And it makes me realize that, okay, I can't stop what I'm doing now. There are more people who need to be reached out to. There are more people who need to be impacted. There are more lives to be touched. There are more stories to be changed. If I had decided not to start Mobigraphy, many people would not have known of this. I wouldn't have met a whole lot of people. I think about what Mobigraphy has brought me. I'm like, no, I can't give up now. I can't stop what I'm doing now. I have to keep on going forward. I have to keep on pushing harder.
Move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You,
So basically, these people are actually my biggest source of motivation. They make me want to do more. Most of what I'm doing, I do it because of them. The reason why I've really not given up on what I'm doing is because of them. Because I'm like, these people look up to me. If I give up now, if I stop what I'm doing, what will happen to the rest of the world that's actually waiting for me to do more? So that's like my biggest motivation.
Well, that's brilliant. So, considering how far you've come now, I think many people are curious to know what has been your greatest setback.
Okay, I think one of my greatest setback has to be going to school. Yeah, I had started most of the stuff before I resumed school. So when I finally resumed last year, February, I found it hard to balance school and Mobigraphy and every other thing that was not just school related or academic related. It was I don't know, it was just not something I prepared myself for, and it really affected my personal brand, Misheshots and Mobigraphy, right? I couldn't really teach Mobigraphy, so I wasn't able to reach out to many people last year regarding Mobigraphy, but I was nurturing the audience I already had from the previous Mobigraphy classes I had. Um, at a point in time, I suffered from creativity block. I just couldn't. It seems my head was clogged with books, so I could not see anything like really creative around me. I was creating images, yeah, but for someone at a particular, I also like I've done more, so I wasn't able to do a whole lot because I was in school. But I have really learned now. By the second semester, I learned how to balance things up. So I I became better in second semester.
Well, that's beautiful. So, what can you say is the biggest factor that has helped you to be this successful in mobigraphy or in your field?
Okay, I think one of the biggest factors for my success it has to be God's grace. Like I can't overemphasize it. Many people ask me, Mishe, how do you do this? I'm like, it's God that helped me. I myself sometimes I didn't understand. I'm like, how did this happen? How is this happening? Sometimes I don't just understand. Do you get like I just understand that okay, it's just God's grace. Well, aside that, I rely on God for everything, grace, strength, and all. I also draw inspiration from myself and from my past achievements. I've got to learn that I should not just decide to be satisfied with where I am. I should always go for more, and for that, I'm always working on myself. So that alone is another factor for what you see now. The fact that I don't just like staying where I am, I like going for more. I believe there is always more, so I go for more. And I believe that God that helped me to a particular stage will help me to, other levels, greater heights, and also that's just it.
Well, that's lovely. So, throughout your journey with all your successes and your setbacks, all what you've achieved and all what you've been working for, during your worst times, what do you do to keep you going? Or during those times that you doubted yourself, what did you do to regain confidence in yourself?
Okay, well, the first thing I do is I cry. Like I cry till I'm satisfied. Then, and after that, I'm giving you practical steps of what I do. After I've done crying, I take a deep breath. I take a deep breath. Then I I motivate myself. I watch a lot of motivational videos. So I'm like, okay, I know I can do this. I just think I can't do this. And sometimes I just ask myself this question: what's the worst that could ever happen? What's the worst that could ever happen? The worst thing that could ever happen is that I will not get it right? So what's the point? Just go for it. So that's just what helps me whenever I'm doubting myself, whenever I think I can't do something or I want to approach someone. I just want to do anything. I just like belittle the situation to the very last. I just belittle that situation like, okay, what's the worst thing that will happen? I will not shall die. That's it. I will not shall die. And since I will not die, there's hope, because when there's life, there's hope. So that's just what helps me whenever I feel that way. That's what really helps me. I also like ask God for directions. Sometimes, I'm trying my very best to involve God in every single thing I do. So I'm always like, okay, God, do you think I should go for this thing or I should not go for this thing? If God now said, go for it, I'm like, oh my God, why? But it says, okay, it's not yet time. I'm like, okay, thank God, I'm not doing this, right? So that's another thing I do. I always try to ask God for directions, and I ask Him for strength. Please, God, strengthen me. I can't do this on my own. Just help me.
So, Mishe, I think the last thing we'd like to know is whether you have any experience you like to share, or any story or lesson you've learned that you like to share with us something that you've seen or that something that you've noticed throughout your journey that you believe is worth sharing.
Okay, thank you so much, Prime. I remember saying earlier on that nothing is too small to make it big. Yeah. So I'll share this story. It's a story that spilled over from secondary school to where I am currently. So there is this particular girl in my set. Like she was among the big girls in quotes in my set, right? She was proud, pompous, and she was you understand what I mean, right? Like all those big girls that like to look down on people and think that they are the most special or something like that. Yeah. In fact, my mom knew her and my mom knew she was proud. So you can imagine like how wide are like how popular in quotes she has gone, like in the pride sense rather. You get, so I really don't talk to her, but I'm this type of person. I can relate with both the big people, the medium people, and the small people. So you could say I was in the center. Like, you don't talk to me anyhow, but there's sometimes these big people in quotes, they'll still like look down on you after, who is this one? Do you get that type of thing? So I'll say that yeah, I've been looked down upon by her, probably because I wasn't in a level or in a rank or something like that. So, but see, I don't know if I even cared. Sha. I really can't remember. But something happened late last year. Yeah, I mean, I graduated in 2019, and this person I'm talking about, I haven't spoken to her ever since. Like since 2019, since we graduated, I never spoke to her. Like we don't talk now. So what's the name? So something happened late last year. I was scrolling through my LinkedIn, and then I saw a notification. So and so commented on your post. I was shocked. I looked at the name. I was like, hey, and the comment that she put there was not something that I ever expected from her in the nearest future, because this is someone that looked down on me when we were in secondary school, right? So I was like, wow. I just replied and I said thank you. Then she came into my DM. She asked for some materials here and there, right? In fact, when I told my mom was like, don't give her anything. In fact, if you want to give herself, sell it to her. I said, no, don't worry, I won't sell it to her, I'll just give it to her. So I gave it to her. To be very honest, I was very, very shocked. I don't know, probably because she went through my profile, she saw what I had achieved in between when we left secondary school and now, or when she met me again. And then she was like, wow, this person is someone to be reckoned with. This person is someone I would love to associate myself with. Do you get that type of thing? So later on, she like, when you're trying to friend with someone because you think the person is a big person and all that. So that was how she was. So it was like the other way around, except that for me, I wasn't looking down on her. I mean, I was just normal with her. I was still free. I'm a friendly person, so I wouldn't even look down on you or something like that. So what exactly am I trying to say? Nothing is too small to make it big. When I started Mobigraphy, I never ever expected that Mobigraphy would bring me this much that I have right now. Right now, I see many people around. They really think they need something big, something that is extravagant to make it in life or to become popular or have influence. And one thing I'll say is start with what you have. You never really know what you are going to do. You never really know what is going to come out from that little that you start out with. So yes, always start out with what you have. You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. You have no control over what is going to happen tomorrow, right? So with the little you have now, start out with it and do well in it. Put all your energy into it. Ensure that you do it excellently and efficiently. Love that thing that you do and you'll be proud of it. And when people actually see this result, they'll be shocked. They'll be like, wow, is this not this person that was like, and they'll be people want to associate yourself with you. Imagine if I had watched down Mobigraphy, I mean taking pictures with phone. Everybody does that. Imagine I have watched it, I look down on it and like, I beg, let me just leave this one. What I have now, I don't think we'll even be having this interview. I really don't think so. So that's just all I have to say. Like I said, nothing is too small to make it big. Thank you so much, Prime, for having me. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate.
Well, thank you so much, Mishe. We really appreciate you for taking your time to come here and present yourself. And we're really hoping for greater heights for you and your community and any other thing that you're planning to work on in the near future. Thank you so much.